Nasturtium are absolutely gorgeous. I mean, look at that. And this. And this. But they're not only gorgeous, they're very effective pollinator attractors and amazing companions in the companion planting process. However, because they are such effective trap crops, it can be a little bit nuanced as far as determining where they should go in your garden. Because this commenter is so correct. Ideally, you don't want your nasturtium to be right next to the main crops in your garden, because ideally you do not want those pests that are attracted to the nasturtium to be near your main crops or the things that you really want to harvest. However, if you do not have a very large garden space, then that can be a little tricky. So here are a few things that I do to still be able to use nasturtium as a trap crop, but not be worried about those pests migrating over to the main crops that I really want to enjoy. So in my raised beds, I will plant nasturtium on the borders of the garden, and I keep a really close eye on the nasturtium. Those are the plants that I will go to check for any beetles or things that I can pick off. And when they get affected, I'll just prune them. Because they're on the borders, I'm not overly concerned if I feel like pulling the entire plant out, but nasturtium is pretty resilient, so I'll just give it a really good haircut when the pests come and remove the pest, throw that away or compost it, and then the nasturtium will grow back. In containers, I will plant them either on the border, just like I do with the raised beds, or I'll put them in a completely separate container. Again, I do the exact same thing. I have very rarely thrown the entire plant away. I generally just do haircuts unless the infestation has gotten out of hand. I'm generally keeping a closer eye on the nasturtium. So the nasturtium is the plants that I am either treating or, like I said, I'm removing out of the garden. And the only crops that I really try to keep it a little further away from are going to be my squash, just because I find that squash can be a little finicky for myself. And so I don't want the pest anywhere near that. But anything else that nasturtium is a trap crop for, I don't mind putting it somewhat near, just as long as it has easy access for me to be able to do the pruning to remove the pest.